Hello and welcome. I am here with Unionists Rachel and Carmen and Daniel. Welcome. We're so excited to be here to talk about the pathway of your heart's desire. And yeah, I'd love to. And I'm Kelly. Welcome. And I'd love to get your thoughts on how you felt about the sermon today. Buy a beer.
It was a beautiful sermon. Just need a little bit more light here. Um, I really liked the theme. It started with knowing that whatever it is you're going through at any time, there's always going to be a class to address it, no matter what it is. And how the thought system of the teachings of union contrasts so markedly from the world's thought system, because was it I think you already touched on it as well, how when you're growing up, nobody tells you that you can follow your heart's desires. You're brought up to believe that you have to abandon your heart, be pulled away from your heart, and you try that and realize how bad that's always going to feel. I saw a quote. It was not a meme. It was on a badge about 35 years ago that said, "Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll be among the stars." I'm sure that's become a meme now, but there you go. It's choosing to aim for exactly what your desire is. Now, following your heart. I guess the moral of that saying is that ending up above the stars, that was actually your desire. Even if you weren't that clear as to what it was, if you choose your desire, that's what you shall have. And also sharpening your discernment, so that you know exactly what your desires are, and rather than being vague about it. I read in a book of Taoism, Tao meditation once, about how you don't want to end up manifesting a lousy or inappropriate dream. So if God redirects you, it's okay to trust that. It's God that placed these desires in your heart. So even if you're not clear as to what they are, if you just follow God's plan, you will get your exact desires. And it's completely satisfying to be committed to your desires and to be moving towards them, because you're not going to manifest them all at once, and that's okay. That's part of the process. That reminds me of a blog that I wrote entitled "How to Be Happy with Where You're At While Still Honoring Your Desire." And it talks about how wherever you're at now, you can let that be enough, but at the same time choosing more. So I'm grateful for what's here, and I'm really enthusiastic about what's to come. And asking yourself, am I in alignment with my desires and my highest dreams? I suppose you can never ask yourself that question too many times. And doing a love list for flame, for your career, for your life purpose, for all areas of your life is a great way to get clear. And put everything down in your love list, even the stuff that seems impossible. Write it down anyway. It's like wanting your twin flame to be like Mr. Darcy, running towards you in slow motion through a field of yellow daisies. Yeah, I'm sure you two have been doing that a lot lately. Put it all down. And it's not too good to be true. Once again, this is the world thought system that convinces you of that. I mean, this was a big block for me for a long time at the beginning, me and Jeff and Shaleia say, no, it's so good that it is true. And not all good things must come to an end, but all good things must continue forever. So yeah, it is possible, and it is inevitable, and it is for you. And yet don't try and figure out how it's going to come about, because God's already got it figured out for you, and He's done it in ways that are probably too big for our imaginations to wrap themselves around. So trust God in this place, and yeah, and don't compare yourself to anybody else's journey, because your good is yours, somebody else's good is theirs. Nobody can have your good. You can't enjoy anybody else's good, and your good can't be taken from you. It's for you, it's yours. So claim it.
Yeah, I love that. I feel that really summarizes the sermon perfectly. For me, like also the biggest takeaway again was just what you shared at the latest is basically like really don't compare yourself. You can't even compare your journey to anyone else's journey because we are also unique. Our journey is perfectly designed for us, and you can't take anyone else as the measurement of your own success or where you are at or even what you have and what you don't have, right? Everything that you need, everything you desire, you will only and always find within. And you don't know how long someone else worked for that, how many lifetimes, what they have right now, right? Sometimes it seems like they get it faster than you. You've been longer here or something like that, right? And but just by recognizing that you see what they have, you can say yes to that and claim it as your own and bless them with what they have, right? You see the romance that someone else's has or that they're living their life purpose or they have what you desire and you want that, bless it, claim it for yourself. It's a blessing that you are able to see this because it's not here to show you, ha, you don't have that yet. It's to show you that you can have it too and that it can be easy for you too. Like they've walked the path in front of you and are showing you that you can claim it right now easily for you. And it's something interesting from the sermon now that came up for me is that we just recently created a vision board to say yes to all our desires, right? As it's been said in the sermon, like you should, and it's very necessary to get very clear on your desires and how they look like, how they feel like, and we are, at least I am very visual. He's like very logical. And so we brought these things together to picture things that we want, like find the perfect picture to things we desire to claim. For example, Ascension coaching, we just took a picture of us and like this button next to it says it's a certified Ascension coach. Just for us here at home. So every time we go to bed, we see this, we say yes to this, we claim it, and we already feel it, right? So the thing is, you're not going to be happy once you have it. You're going to only manifest it in your life when you are happy right now with what you have. And of course, have a tunnel vision when it comes to that. That's like how we made it into Twin Flame Union. We refuse to believe that there is separation between us. And that's basically it. And this is the principle that works for everything in life, right? And you feel inspired to share more?
Yes, I think coming back to don't compare yourself, I think when this is a big trap because that's what delays your journey or whatever you want to manifest in the moment. I remember that for me, something like 2 years ago around, I was like comparing my journey to my coaches and other people I knew in the community, and I was like, why is my journey not looking like them? Why I'm not being successful? And the moment I was like, okay, I'm gonna allow my union to be whatever it is. That was the moment I met Carmen. Actually, like the next day, Carmen added me in Facebook. So I think following your desires, your happiness is what will bring all these misaligned stuff, so you can become aware of it and move out from it, and just enjoy whatever you're doing at the moment. As Rachel shared, like, that's the true happiness, when we stop looking for it in the future and we realize we're already happy in the moment. That's when everything changes, because once you get your twin flame, you realize that your twin flame doesn't make you happy. You are already happy, and being with them makes you happier. It expands, it amplifies, but it doesn't come from them. It comes from you. So whatever you are manifesting, whether it's more money or a perfect career, get clear with your love list is definitely the right way to start, so you can also be clear on the values you are looking for. And from there, you either get it or work the spiritual process to get it. Like, one way or another, you will get the thing what you want, and you will be happy. But as Jeff says, the meaning is not in the end result, but in the journey. So when you enjoy the journey, it happens like super fast.
No, I love all of what you shared, and just the contrast between what we learn in the world and what we learn in the teachings of union. I feel like they're so contrasting, but at the same time, they're also one, because they're all just a reflection of like what we actually believe. And so anytime I'm like, oh gosh, she really, there's this sense when we're like, at least I know for myself, when I'm trying to help other people and say the open forum, like I might have a little bit of just a little bit of judgment, but then I have to remember, all right, well, where am I holding? Like everyone is having this like deep reflection. And so like everything that we see in the world that isn't aligned with the teachings of union is somewhere inside of us that we still need love and still need healing. And I think for me, that's one of the biggest breakthroughs, to be able to recognize, oh gosh, wow, this person's holding on to resentment. And then literally this morning, I was just feeling into my heart. I was like, where am I holding resentment in my life and in my union? And oh my gosh, like I literally was holding on to a lot of resentment that I wasn't attuned to, I wasn't feeling into. And I noticed it in my union, but I didn't, I noticed it inside of my heart, but I wasn't clear on what I was feeling. So what I love is that even though we're learning to, is that we can use the world, and all of us learning to like really take responsibility ourselves. And then that just leads to more healing and more love and more compassion, I think, because ultimately we're all doing our best. We're all innocent. We're all trying. And so it's just staying true to that like heart's desire, regardless of like what comes up in between it. And that like God is always going to show you the way home to your happiness. And like, yeah, it really is like inside. And then like when we're looking at maybe our finances, or maybe you're trying to manifest a car or a home, or these things that feel impossible, right? It's about like looking into those places that just need more love and more compassion and more patience, where you don't actually believe that it's possible. Like I'm realizing there's places that I don't actually believe in God in certain areas in my life, that I won't be loved and supported there. And so it's like, oh, I actually don't believe that's possible. So that's where for me, I just need a lot of love and a lot of tension. And that just leads to, more love. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, but going back to what Carmen and Daniel were saying about comparison with others, because you said a lot of things that I studied through the lens of my Buddhism, and I think it's worth bringing up here. Certainly, because comparison with others can lead to lower emotions like envy and jealousy. And that stems from not being able to abide somebody's good fortune. And the teachings also say it stems from a place of lack. So what you want to do when you come up against somebody else's good fortune is to rejoice in their good fortune, because then you create the cause to receive similar good fortune yourself in your own life. And also that horrendous ego trap to keep people unhappy, like I'll be happy when, I'll be happy in the future, like be happy when I lose weight or have a good position or have an attractive partner or get with my twin flame. If that's how you think you can attain all of those things and still not experience pure happiness, and your twin flame in particular will not make you happy. They're not gonna make all your problems go away any more than the new fatty diet will. Now, a happy destination has to have a happy journey. You had to choose to be happy now, because now is what we have, really. There's only ever now. The past and future, they're not here. It's not union is not in some superior moment in the future that is yet to come in. Union is now. Every person that's come into union, and Harmonious Union has said the same thing, how it was always there. It was just uncovering it, just realizing it. And I love what you two said about quite simply refusing to believe in separation. That's very empowering. That's a very strong stance. Certainly, I can glean quite a lot from that myself, rather than, oh, I'm going to release the belief in separation here. No, just simply refuse to believe in any of it, period. I think Michaela was also talking about in the run-up to her wedding, how she and Jose refused to accept separation, and that was an absolutely vital piece in their journey to be able to get married. And and that's how you get to progress really, really fast. But if you're doing it right, you don't even think about how fast you're going, because you're having a great time, and all of a sudden it's here. And you didn't see it coming because you were having such a great time.
Yeah, thank you for that. I love that. Something that we also in the sermon shared is that sometimes it doesn't make, not yet really logical sense to invest into something. Like it looks maybe tight with your finances to go a certain direction, but you feel like without investing here, you can't really move forward, and you need that support that it provides to you, right? So I feel that's something that was for us also very crucial to manifest Daniel staying here, and I feel you're eager to share that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that trust God. He always has like the perfect path for you, even if you don't understand it at first. For us was like we were having our own vision about how our journey should look like. And we were trying to get me a job here in Germany, to get me a job visa and stay here longer. And that's what we thought was the best for us.
And the safest.
Yeah, and the safest and easiest way. But God's plan was different. He was leading us into marriage, and we were like, okay, this is weird. Like, none of the jobs I'm applying for are like responding. This is not working, but the marriage is going like extremely well. Like we needed to get married like in less than 4 weeks, 3 weeks, and the agency we hired were like, yeah, we can do it in 2 weeks, no problem. And we were like, okay.
Mhm.
And they were like, send us your papers and documents and some proof that you have been in a relationship for a while. And we sent everything, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, you're approved. Then we went, we got married, we came back. I went to the immigration office and I told them like, hey, I'm here with my passport, as a tourist, and it's about like my 90 days here are about to expire. What can I do? I'm married to my wife and living here with her here in Germany. And the moment I told them like she's German, they were like, oh, you're married to a German citizen. Okay, you can stay here. You're allowed to move. Don't worry. And I was like, what? And what we learned is that you might try to push in a certain direction because you believe that's the way, but God will guide you to another direction, and it will be extremely easy no matter how hard you push in the other direction. And at some point you will realize like, okay, this way it's easier. There has to be something here for me, and then you will get it. So it's like you really want to trust where God is guiding you, where He's leading you, because that's where your gift is. Like He's actually guiding you to the easiest path to your gift or whatever you want.
Yeah, even though it doesn't look maybe easy, for us it looked like this big obstacle to get married instead of just getting a job here, right? And have all this paperwork done in time. And we actually we talked to several lawyers before. We also took the logical route here. We got clear on all the ways that were possible to let him stay here. And they all said like, yeah, you can get married. That's the safest way actually. But he has to go back to Mexico and apply back there. And we were like, wow, this is why we didn't want to get married in the first place, because we were like, we don't want him to leave back to Mexico to apply there. And so, but we trusted because we felt at some point so hard to keep pushing in that job search direction. And we were like, this is not where our energy is flowing. And I could feel, and I already like was moving through like, oh, I would see him on the airport saying goodbye to each other. But the moment we both refused to be separate, and I really said to God, like, okay, look, if that needs to happen, he has to go back. I'm going with him. I remember the session we had with Prissy on that. She was like, well, if the world would tell me to separate from my man, I would pack my bag. And if we would have to leave under the bridge, we would fucking do that, because we are not going to accept separation here. And the moment we said that, we did that, he showed up at the immigration office and she was like, look, I have the papers. I'm married to the German girl. We have all this. I have everything prepared here in this wonderful map. I'm here. I'm standing up. What do I need to do? They were like, oh, you can actually stay here. We were like, what? That was so easy. And you can't fail. You can't fail with God when you follow the good feeling and when you use your feelings and logic as well at the same time. Like you will always be right with God here. And yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one thing is something important is that the world lives in separation, and the world will try to separate you from your good. No matter what you say, they will try to do that. And that's when you refuse to accept separation, because we realize we were accepting it somehow. Like, okay, if I have to go back to Mexico, then we will do that. Like, that's when we realize like, okay, this is the separation thought we are accepting because other people accept that. That's what they are saying, but we refuse that. And of course we followed like the rules. We didn't do anything like that. It's not legal. Yeah. But yeah, when you are invited into, give up on your desire, don't do that. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Even if it looks like logical or easy, don't do it. Always follow your heart desires to achieve your goal, and refuse to accept a no as an answer. That was a lesson for us.
Definitely. Beautiful.
Wow, that is so powerful, you guys. I love that you just refused and broke that down for us, what that really looked like. Because I feel like you're right, Daniel, like the world will invite you to say, oh, really? Is that what you want? Like, is that really what you desire? Or like, it's almost like, I don't think God tests us. It's just like a reflection of what we believe inside that we have to heal through. But like, I don't know, sometimes it just feels like all a big test, like the doubts and the fears and the, because we're always constantly being invited to give up on ourselves, I think. I think that's so true. But we can always close the door. We can always say, oh, nope, not accepting separation, not accepting disempowerment, right? Because I know for myself, like a lot of my depression, my lifelong depression was rooted in disempowerment. And so like a lot of these things, like, because if you're feeling disempowered, of course you're going to be depressed. Of course you're going to be tired and have a hard time getting up in the morning. Like, so I think following your desires and like rooting out those feelings and emotions and resentment and disempowerment and all of these things that are like designed to like kind of chain us down, like, but it's really just the ego. Like it's not our defined selves. And yeah, but that was just such a powerful example. Thank you so much for sharing. Love that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's always good to reiterate how God's plan may be different to what you think it is. And yeah, a lot of it is to do with if a door is shut, it's okay to go through the open door where the energy is flowing, kind of path of least resistance as you experience. Yeah, following the good feeling, because the world will always be trying to separate you from your good. It's a world of separation. It's a world of ego, and it will invite you to give up on your desires regularly. Your commitment will be tested again and again and again, and yeah, you get to the point where you think, do I really do I really need to be tested again here? I mean, you know what I'm going to be choosing. I'm going to be choosing my desires. But the world's thought system is very persistent. I think Jeff said in a live class, the world's thought system is about settling and the diminishment of your divinity. The thought system of love is a much better feeling thought system. And bear in mind that the world, your environment, the people around you, they are going to reflect to you your own doubts. Certainly, there's one person that I know that a few years ago would be saying, "Oh, why didn't you get with that guy?" Well, just don't give a damn about him. Oh, if you don't, why not? If you don't, you're gonna get left on the shelf. But he's not doing that anymore. He was just reflecting some of my own doubts, some of my own thinking, and now I've healed through that. He's not reflecting that anymore. So it is a good indicator of where you're at. But it's okay to have some doubts. Everyone has doubts, like the people in harmonious union have doubts, and the thing to do there is simply acknowledge it, validate it. It's so important to validate your feelings, feel the doubt, and stay present with it until it dissolves and becomes a greater knowing, and that will carry you through.
Yeah, I loved what you shared there, Rachel, about feeling through things. So I know for myself, that the disempowerment for me was actually rooted in not being allowed to feel as a child, because it was like really uncomfortable for my family to like face how I was feeling. And obviously somewhere inside of me, I also felt afraid to feel. And so my family reflected that. And that's like, I feel like all of my disempowerment and all of that was rooted in is like facing my feelings and facing the fear and facing the doubts. And so when you actually go in and face these things, eventually, right, your heart will open up. You'll be able to feel deeper. You'll be able to accept love. And I heard something recently on the forum. Someone was saying, gosh, what was it? I guess it's like feeling the doubts helps you, like feeling the doubts, feeling those places in your heart that are hurting. It's actually it's like letting joy into those places. It's like giving yourself permission to create a life of joy. It's like really joy returning when you go through a lot of grief. And so it's safe to feel everything and anything that comes up. And for me, I think what was so empowering was actually having a coach and having support and having, having the tools, having Twin Flame Ascension School, and just having the tools, because if you want to live your heaven on earth, it's important to like follow the path to create it. And that's part of claiming your desires. I mean, I remember when I first started, like I could barely afford anything, let alone like coaching and Twin Flame Ascension School and Life Purpose. It all seems so overwhelming. But as I continued to claim, and honestly, those first couple of years, I just invested out of just sheer faith that, like, okay, I'm going to put this first in my life. And then it, like, I always, like, as soon as I claimed my coach, I never once couldn't afford it for a month. I couldn't, there wasn't a time where I couldn't afford Twin Flame Ascension School or Life Purpose. Like, it definitely, there were times that it felt like a stretch and it felt like I wouldn't be supported, but I always was. And so I think it's like when, the teachings really teach you how to face down that fear and say, oh no, that's, you get to really face down those fears. And so that's what's been really powerful for me. And then it's taken a long time for me to really heal, being able to feel. But like now it's so wonderful because I can like let joy in. I still have my moments, I still have my upsets, but yeah, like the gifts that you get by having support are just like, yeah, it's just such a gift. So yeah, does anybody else have anything to share?
Well, thank you for sharing. It was really beautiful. I just feel that the promise of dreams is that they come true, right? That's what Jeff and Shaleia share. And whenever you face like a really big challenge in your life, or, there is no big and small challenge, they're all just challenges. And whenever you face it, you actually realize like you're in front of a breakthrough, right? And so every time we are facing something really big, I do feel very grateful for it in that moment, because I know like, wow, I've earned that challenge. I've earned that trust within myself and with God that He is actually giving this to me so I can break through to the next level, to what I actually called in. So introspective here is very important to get clear on like, yes, I am calling, for example, in my harmonious union, I'm calling in to live my full-time life purpose. I'm calling all this abundance in and whatnot, right? So of course, I have to face challenges to make it through, so I can enjoy that and have that for all eternity. And the story, or we all know how the story ends. There is something I saw, it's like, you know that you will slay that dragon and you will live in that castle with your perfect partner. You know the end of the story as well. You don't know how to get there, but that's not your job to figure out. You just know you will make it. And you have to stick with that and build trust with yourself that you will just heal through whatever comes up, and you will never be alone, because we have this community and you have got to always ask for support. Every time I felt like, okay, I don't know what I have to heal here. I don't even know what my upset is. I don't even know what this feeling is, what's coming up right now. God, please just help me. And it's even coming through Daniel giving me something, or he's, talking to me through a card or a song or whatever it is, a visual. There is always something coming through when we are open for that. And yeah, you can't fail. You will make it, and this is for everyone. You have anything else?
Nope.
Cool.
I love that. Thank you so much. That was beautiful too. And yeah, so I just wanted to encourage you all at home to share a tithing with the Church of Union if you feel called to. You can do that over at unionism.org, so we can just continue to spread this message, share the teachings of Union, and just really help people heal from the inside out. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, for Rachel and Carmen and Daniel, for your wisdom, and just really, really lovely to be here with you today. So thank you all so much. We'll see you next time.